Hoodie guy coming back with another one. Well, Kaspa's having a nice rise up. You can see one of the top gainers in the top 100. After the big moves, wallet number one still staying there at 1.1 billion. Yeah, it'll be interesting when we find out who that is someday. A lot of people talking about the Shanghai gold warrants that are just went up a lot this last year, up a crazy amount. You can see people talking about how China wants to make gold backed or have gold back their currency to give people confidence in it. Here you can see then people think the stable coins of the dollar. This chart you can see shows where stable coins are now, 120 billion worth of US treasuries. You can see China and Japan have slowly been selling off their treasuries the last 10 or so years. This is projected in 2030 that stable coins could be 1.2 trillion have of US treasuries. You've probably seen that Tether, they have like 250 employees. They have a bunch of stable coins, obviously. They have a bunch of US treasuries back on their stable coins. They're making like 99% profit. You can see why a lot of other people want to get into the stablecoin business. This, according to Wikipedia, shows the United States, Germany, IMF, I guess, has gold holdings. Italy, Russia, China. So I'm not sure how accurate or up to date this is, but the United States, and I've seen people say that's why a lot of the gold was flying from London to New York. A lot of people are trying to get control of the physical gold. China's trying to make it so people trust the yuan and want to trade with it, and people want to also be cool with having their gold in the Shanghai index. What's interesting is if it's divergence between digital money, stable coins, or maybe Bitcoin-backed dollar or gold-backed yuan, is it going to play out like when China went the silver route, when the rest of the world went the gold route? I don't know the answers. Meanwhile, this is, I think, the US M2 just up through 2025 in August. You can see it's just basically up and to the right. There was a pullback because they just increased the money supply so much during COVID. This is the global M2 with the Bitcoin price, but only to May of this year, so it's not quite up to date. I think you have to pay for that more up-to-date version. Meanwhile, there's just more news. Payments processors Zelda allow crypto stablecoins. U.S. Secretary Treasurer Scott Bessent says China is ready to make a trade deal, which would remove President Trump's 100% trade deal. So those are possible things that could be, catalysts to let crypto goes up. China, the last 5 years, has really increased their yuan supply. It was before October, I think it was more too, but 214 trillion yuan up to 335 trillion yuan. I think that's about 47 trillion worth of USD. So all the gold in the world couldn't back their money 1-to-1 right now. Now maybe gold shoots up more, and it could back up some of it, I guess. But meanwhile, you have the United States over $38 trillion in debt. You can see that spending more on the interest on the debt than the war or second defense war, whatever you want to call it. If you jump ahead to 2029, what they're projecting now, it used to be in 2029 they're projecting the interest on the debt alone to be higher. Now they're projecting defense and everything else to be much higher. It used to be that they were projecting the interest on the debt to be over a trillion. Now they just still have it at 930 billion, and you can see they're projecting to have $46 trillion in debt. Now, I'm not sure if it's true, but the United States, apparently has 326,000 Bitcoin, but they're supposed to make their holdings public, and they haven't, and that's with what they got from that Cambodian pig butchering operation, apparently. So it's just interesting to see how that shakes out. I know some people think we're in the fourth turning. Maybe it's more of this trade war, monetary war of whose currency. We're looking still pretty good for a rate cut this coming week, so that could be huge. And you can see Brian Armstrong was talking with lots of 25 senators in the last 2 days. So if you get market structure clarity bill go through and rate cuts, it seems like, and the trade war settles down, seems like there could be some bullish catalysts. So I guess people think that we're either this time is different and there's The cycle is not going to end right at the exact same time as it roughly did the last 2 cycles, or we're just going to be in that new cycle. And I guess there's some catalysts that make it think that that's possible with quantitative easing and the fact that they're lowering interest rates. So you just got to do what you got to do to take care of your bag. That's basically all I got. Thanks for watching and have a good day.